Well, good afternoon and early evening to you from the Bob Eastman Field here at the home of the Gallia Academy Blue Devils, where tonight it's high school baseball, a league game for the Blue Devils, as they will be tangling tonight with the Portsmouth Trojans. Joining me again tonight is Chris Delaney. Chris, welcome back. And what have you got to tell us about the Blue Devils over the weekend?
Oh, well, a pretty good weekend overall. Went 4-1 last week with our lone loss at South Point 2-1 in a game they probably should have won. But Saturday went down to Rock Hill and had a continuation from our game up here earlier in the season. Picked that one up in the 7th inning and played 3 more innings. We ended up walking off with a base hit by Nathan Shockey. Beat those guys in the first game. I think it was 5-4. And then we came out in the second game and started hitting the ball and battled back and forth. Had the lead, gave it up, got it back, lost it, and got it again. So we ended up winning that one too down there. So 2 really good games on Saturday for us.
Chris, tell us a little bit about what we got tonight coming in as far as health is concerned. Any injuries or any significant illnesses for the Blue Devils?
No, we've actually, not to jinx it, we've had a pretty healthy season so far. Haven't had anybody really get injured significantly or miss any time. You know, a few ankles or, a shoulder here and there, but for the most part had a pretty healthy season so far. The big thing we're going to miss today are Heath and David Champlin are both out of town for the week. So we're not going to have them available to pitch. And we've got 5 games scheduled this week, so that's probably going to hurt.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup for tonight. First of all, for the visiting Trojans from Portsmouth High School, leading off will be their pitcher, Jacob Roth. Hitting in the second position will be J.T. Williams. Williams will be in left field for the Trojans. Malachi Loper will be the second baseman. He'll hit in the 3 spot tonight. Hitting fourth in the cleanup spot will be Trevin Brooks, and he will be doing the catching. The designated hitter tonight will be Colin Perry, and he'll be designating for the center fielder, which will be Leland Skurlock. Hitting in the 6th position will be Cameron Williams. Williams will play shortstop. Hitting in the 7th position for Portsmouth will be Nick Copley. He will bat 7th and play 3rd base. Hitting 8th and over at first base will be Preston Krebs. And then rounding out the lineup for the Trojans will be Braxton Carr, and he will be in right field. Again, for the Trojans, it'll be Roth, Williams, Loper, Brooks. Perry will be the DH. Williams, Copley, Krebs, and Carr. Around the horn, around the diamond for Portsmouth, it'll be Trevin Brooks behind the plate, Preston Krebs at first, Malachi Loper at second, Cameron Williams at short. Nick Copley will be over at third. Left to right will be J.T. Williams, Leland Skurlock, and Braxton Carr. For the Blue Devils, leading off will be Tyler Young. Young will be doing the pitching tonight. In the second hole will be Beckett Camden. Camden will play left field this evening. Very versatile player. We saw him warming up, doing a good job in left field this evening. Can play it really anywhere. Logan Drummond will be hitting in the 3 spot. He'll be at shortstop tonight. Maddox Delaney, who leads the Blue Devils with 14 hits, will be at 3rd base tonight. Hitting 5th will be Brady Conley. He'll hit 5th and play first base. He had the tremendous catch the other night in the double play that we broadcasted against Warren. Nathan Shockey will hit 6th. He will play second base. Reese Toller will be the DH. He'll hit 7th, and he'll be hitting for Logan Kenny, who will be doing the catching tonight. Jackson Myers will be your right fielder, and then rounding out the lineup for the Blue Devils will be Matthew Foster, who will be in center field. Again, for the Blue Devils around the diamond, it will be Kenny behind the plate, Conley at first, Shockey at second, Drummond at short, and Delaney at third. Left to right will be Camden, Foster, and Jackson Myers. Blue Devils got a good game the other night, I understand, from Matthew Foster playing in center field. Chris?
Yeah, he played all around pretty solid defensive game. The whole team played pretty well the other day up at Rock Hill. They probably played their most solid game to date for us so far. So it's one of those things where, not to discredit Matthew, but when the team plays well, everyone wins, so to speak. And Matthew's the guy that we've talked about the past couple weeks that really needs to turn it on and get rolling for us. He's one of our senior leaders, so hopefully we can continue on the success he's had the past few games.
A beautiful day here at Gallia Academy High School. One of the nicest, if not the nicest, game that we've had so far this season. And we take it one day at a time. Doesn't look good for tomorrow, but we'll just take it one day at a time. Now, Chris, tell us a little bit what's coming up the rest of the week. You mentioned we have several games this week. What's coming down the pike?
Right now we've got. I'll have to check. I'll have to double check on that. You caught me too soon, but we've got. Tomorrow, we're supposed to be playing at Meg's, but I think that one, weather's not looking good, and I believe they were trying to reschedule that one for May 12th. I think Meg's wanted to reschedule that for May 12th. And then Wednesday, we are at Ironton, and Thursday, we're back here with South Point home, and then Friday rounds out the week at Chesapeake. So a lot of baseball this week if we get the weather. So like I said, I touched on earlier, the lack of a couple pitchers is going to really hurt us if we have to play all 5 of these games. But, hey, that's why these guys are out here. They're ready to play games regardless how many arms we've got. So, yeah, hopefully we can get them all in. But at the same time, you're kind of like, well, it wouldn't hurt to reschedule 1 or 2 just because we don't have as many arms as we normally do.
The Blue Devils are taking the field, and Coach Camden is out there at the home plate with the instructions from the umpires. Here at the Bob, just if you're familiar with the layout here, it's 310 down the lines, 355 to the alley, and 370 to straightaway center field. Softball game going on as well this evening, and the Blue Devils are honoring their seniors, and this is a senior night here at Gallia Academy, and so good turnout and a good crowd, really a good crowd from both teams, as Portsmouth brought a good crowd up the river as well. We're going to take a break, get into the national anthem. When we come back, Chris Delaney and I will have baseball right here from Bobby Eastman Ball Field, where tonight it's Gallia Academy against Portsmouth. We'll take a break, get through the national anthem, and we'll be back with some baseball action as you're listening to Gallia Academy Baseball right here on Total Media Sports.
You love the Big Red Machine. The Cincinnati Reds have a history of being competitive and zealous while maintaining the utmost professionalism. So should your lawyer. John Kierson Clark is an aggressive and zealous attorney that is always looking out for the best interests of his clients while trying to secure a win. He has over 30 years experience and is licensed in all courts, state of Ohio, federal court, and even the U.S. Supreme Court. Whether your legal issue is domestic related or a criminal law issue, call John Clark Law Office today.
Craving something delicious? Carson's Corner Pizza has you covered. From our cheesy, freshly baked pizzas to sizzling potato skins loaded with crispy bacon and melted cheddar, every bite is a flavor explosion. Want wings? We've got them. Salads? Of course. Calzones? You bet. And don't forget the best fried mushrooms in town. Skip the wait. Order online at carsonscornerspizza.com or call 740-289-1300. Carson's Corner Pizza, where every bite is better than the last.
You love the Big Red Machine. The Cincinnati Reds have a history of being competitive and zealous while maintaining the utmost professionalism. So should your lawyer. John Kierson Clark is an aggressive and zealous attorney that is always looking out for the best interests of his clients while trying to secure a win. He has over 30 years experience and is licensed in all courts, state of Ohio, federal court, and even the U.S. Supreme Court. Whether your legal issue is domestic related or a criminal law issue, call John Clark Law Office today.
Craving something delicious? Carson's Corner Pizza has you covered. From our cheesy, freshly baked pizzas to sizzling potato skins loaded with crispy bacon and melted cheddar, every bite is a flavor explosion. Want wings? We've got them. Salads? Of course. Calzones? You bet. And don't forget the best fried mushrooms in town. Skip the wait. Order online at carsonscornerspizza.com or call 740-289-1300. Carson's Corner Pizza, where every bite is better than the last.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
No score. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Young. That's going to be strike two. Nice pitch.
Way to get ahead. Pitching really well so far. Mr. Young is throwing a lot of strikes. He's gotten the first two guys of the inning, first and second inning out on the first pitch. So we like to see this tempo here.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Young. Foul to the back screen. So that's going to, the count will remain, no balls and two strikes. As the infield is playing deep, the outfield is playing a little shallow as Beckett Camden is in a little bit in left. Myers in right. Myers pulled over just a little bit toward right center. Here comes the pitch, swing and a miss,
Nice
and that's
pitch.
going to be a strikeout.
Nice pitch. Good at bat there. 3 pitches from Tyler Young. He's dialed in right now.
So that will be the second out as a second strikeout and also the second out of the inning as the Trojans now send to the plate Cameron Williams. Williams, the shortstop tonight, wearing number 6, made that play in the previous inning. There's a bouncing ball. It'll be foul, fielded there by Delaney. He's going to throw it back to the mound. Made that, Cameron Williams made that play on that double play there that the Blue Devils went out on in the bottom half of the first.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe had a hit and run on there, and shortstop was headed over to the bag, and unfortunately, Logan hit a ball on a rope there just right up the middle, and the shortstop didn't even have to move. So that's a tough play, but, that's the way it goes.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here comes Tyler Young.
2 down. Bob.
2 down, you're right. 2 down. I realized that when I said it. Here comes the pitch, and
Yes, sir, he did it.
Did he go? They want to check with the first base umpire.
Yes, he did.
He did go. It was called a ball by the home plate umpire, and the Blue Devils wanted to check, and they got it, and that's going to be a strike. Portsmouth third base coach just encouraging Williams to put the ball in play. They need something in play right now. Here comes the pitch. Low. Good pitch there.
Spot for an 0-2 curveball, right?
Yeah, it was. That was a good. I was getting ready to say good place to kind of waste one there. Trying to make him chase. So now 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Chris, you're going to have to take over the scoreboard. We're just a little bit lax here.
It's all right.
There's a ball foul.
They're earning every penny over there, Bob, if you know what I'm saying.
And I get that. I get that. You are too, by the way. No balls, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So that ball was fouled over onto the softball field as there's a softball game going on. If you're familiar with the layout here of Gallia Academy, softball is the first field that you come to. There's the pitch.
Nice pitch.
That's a swing and a miss, and that's the 3rd strikeout for the 3rd out. So Tyler Young records the 3rd strikeout, and in the top of the 2nd for the Trojans. No runs, no hits, no one left on. We played an inning and a half here at the Bob. Your score, Gallia Academy nothing and Portsmouth nothing.
Craving something delicious? Carson's Corner Pizza has you covered. From our cheesy, freshly baked pizzas to sizzling potato skins loaded with crispy bacon and melted cheddar, every bite is a flavor explosion. Want wings? We've got them. Salads? Of course. Calzones? You bet. And don't forget the best fried mushrooms in town. Skip the wait. Order online at carsonscornerspizza.com or call 7.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
We're back here at the Bob, and we got a shout out there,
yes,
Chris.
I'm going to mention Steve Kinney again. I said it when we first thought we were fixed, but we weren't yet. So Steve Kinney's traveling right now, can't make it to the game. It's Logan's dad. He's listening and texting me, wondering why he can't hear us. So thanks, Steve, for getting us straightened out. It's hard to tell how long we'd gone before we knew that. So
We always appreciate people on the end that are listening, so we can get the situations taken care of, and we appreciate the good people here at Total Media Sports who can get that situation taken care of. Maddox Delaney, Brady Conley, and Nathan Shockey, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Blue Devils. Stepping in is Maddox Delaney, hitting .333 on the season, and we're waiting on Coach Harris to
Mosey.
Well, I was going to say jog, but that's move down to first base. Let's put it that way. So here we go, and we're ready. And on in the bottom half of the 2nd for doing the pitching is Jacob Roth. That was a swing and a miss by Delaney. No balls and 1 strike. No balls, 1 strike to count.
2-0-2, Bob.
It is 0-2. Wow, okay. There's a ball hit to the shortstop, couple of hops, and
there you go. That's why we put it in play. Good at bat there by Maddox. Got in the hole, choked up on it, just worked on putting it in play, kicked it out to the shortstop who booted it around, and he's on first base. So those are little things that we like to see right there. We always tell him, hey, put it in play, make him get you out, and that's why. So good job.
So the error on the shortstop, Cameron Williams, as the ball was came off of the grass onto the infield.
Yeah, that caught a little bite on that lip there.
It did. So the Blue Devils have a runner on. That's Delaney, Maddox Delaney, the 2nd runner to reach for the Blue Devils, working from the stretch is Roth. Here comes the pitch.
That's going to get down the line. That's a fair ball.
Nice hit, nice base hit there by Brady Conley. And the Blue Devils now have 2 runners on base as Delaney moves to 2nd.
That's what we like to see. Just hit the ball and start running the bases. Here we go. Let's get going. We're cooking here.
Nathan Shockey now the hitter. Shockey batting .233 on the season as Brooks has walked out to the mound just to kind of encourage his pitcher.
Yeah, Shockey's really been hitting the ball well. He hit the ball really well Saturday down at Rock Hill. Like I said, he had a walk-off hit in that first game and hit the ball 2-3 times really well the rest of in the second game. So hopefully he can stay hitting well here.
Nathan wears number 11. Plays second base for the Blue Devils. There's a ball hit to the second baseman. It's going to go over to short, on to first, and it's a high throw.
All right.
Going to hit the Portsmouth dugout, and that's going to score the Blue Devils. So an error there on the second baseman on the throw. Shockey will go to second as on the error. So scoring on the play will be Maddox Delaney.
So I think we got a little confusion here. I think Portsmouth is saying the runner, Brady Conley, did not try to avoid the play at second base. He was required to slide, and I think Portsmouth is arguing that he didn't slide, but it looks like the umpire is saying, well, he ducked to get out of the way, which is sufficient, but we'll have to see.
So to no avail. Now they're going to have a meeting of the minds here between the two, the base umpire and the home plate umpire, as Conley was forced out at second. So that's the first out of the inning. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, we're still getting a little conversation here. I think they're trying to decide if they're going to send Shockey back to first base.
Oh, but called him out. Did they?
So let's I'm not sure what's going on here. I don't know why Shockey would be out. If they do call the interference, they will call them both out if that's what's going on.
I think Coach Camden now has gone down and talked to the two base umpires. I think he made the out signal. Now, whether or not he's still on second base, so Shockey is still standing on second base. They're saying that he raised his hand, or at least that's what the base umpire.
That Brady was the one on second base. So
yes.
Brady was on second base. Yeah, they're calling interference here. So they called it on Brady Conley out there at second. So Brady was out on a force out, and then Shockey was running to first, and because Brady interfered with the play, Shockey is out automatically. Maddox scored on the play on the overthrow, so he has to go back to third. So it's still a tie ball game with 2 outs.
Okay, so no run. Both runners are out, and now there's 2 outs. So now Delaney will be at third base, and that will bring Reese Toller to the plate. So just on the overthrow, they don't get the extra base?
No.
Okay.
Because the overthrow should have never happened because he interfered.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's the way that's ruled. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. At least I thought that was the first pitch. Portsmouth has called time now as Brooks has gone to the mound to meet with Roth. So good heads up coaching there by Portsmouth to even contest that call. And Coach Camden was evidently okay with the ruling.
Well, you can be okay with it, but throwing a tantrum doesn't make him flip the call.
That's
the call,
true.
So.
Yeah, that's true. Good point there. He didn't really raise much opposition.
Yeah.
You're right. Good point there. So Coach Camden asking for the count, a clarification on the count. As in to hit is Reese Toller. Toller is the designated hitter of those ball hit to the second baseman there for the put out, and that's going to go 4-3 as Loper makes the play over to Cress. So the Blue Devils are retired, and no runs on 1 hit. There was 1 Portsmouth error, and now we've played 2 complete innings here at the Bob, and your score is 0-0.
You love the Big Red Machine. The Cincinnati Reds have a history of being competitive and zealous while maintaining the utmost professionalism. So should your lawyer. John Kirsten Clark is an aggressive and zealous attorney that is always looking out for the best interests of his clients while trying to secure a win. He has over 30 years experience and is licensed in all courts, state of Ohio, federal court, and even the U.S. Supreme Court. Whether your legal issue is domestic related or a criminal law issue, call John Clark Law Office today.
Craving something delicious? Carson's Corner Pizza has you covered. From our cheesy, freshly baked pizzas to sizzling potato skins loaded with crispy bacon and melted cheddar, every bite is a flavor explosion. Want wings? We've got them. Salads? Of course. Calzones? You bet. And don't forget the best fried mushrooms in town. Skip the wait. Order online at carsonscornerspizza.com or call 740-289-1300. Carson's Corner Pizza, where every bite is better than the last.
Bob Hood along with Chris Delaney back at the Bob, where we're ready for the top half of the third. For the Trojans, coming to the plate will be Copley, Krebs, and Braxton Carr. There's a swing and a miss on the first pitch of the third inning. Tyler Young, third inning of work for Tyler. He started the game. And thank you, Chris Delaney, for the call there on the interference. I was just unsure of everything. Really, I knew about interference, but I did not know about the runner having to go back, and it was kind of confusing.
Yeah,
so.
it can be confusing if you don't deal with a lot, if you're just not familiar. Nothing against anyone in particular, but sometimes if you don't deal with it or have to fool with that rule very often, it's tough to figure out what did happen. So, yeah, it's one of those situations that doesn't always get called, and there's a whole lot of moving pieces when it does get called. So you have to sort a lot of stuff out.
Especially the error. That was the moving piece for me that I did not catch was the error and sending the runner back. So here comes the pitch, low and outside to Tyler Young. Nick Copley, who is the third baseman for the Portsmouth Trojans, pretty good player for Portsmouth, bats from the right side, wears number 2. Here comes the pitch, high. So we're now taking that run off the scoreboard, and so it had remained on there. They came over and got a little bit of a clarification there from my very good color commentator who earned all of his money tonight on one play.
Yes,
There's
sir.
a swing and a miss.
Another strikeout there by Tyler Young.
So that's the fourth strikeout of the game for Tyler Young. First out of the third inning for the Trojans, and that's going to bring Preston Krebs to the plate. Krebs played first base. Tall, lanky kid, wears number 10 for the Trojans. Hits from the right side. Now they got the scoreboard corrected. They took that run off. Here comes the pitch from Young. Boy, he is throwing really, really well tonight.
He's hit a lot of strikes. Right now he's at, let me check here. He's thrown 26 pitches and 20 strikes. So really efficient there.
No balls, one strike from the right-hander. Here comes the 0-1 delivery. That's going to be on the corner, strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes. And he is really what they call bearing down, using that term, a baseball term there. As the Trojans are hitting in their visitors' half of the third. No score. Here comes the 0-2 pitch.
Little up there.
A little outside. The sun now is shading down in behind the hills here at the Bob. And if you're familiar with the Bob Eastman Field, the right fielder will soon have the sun right in his eyes.
Yeah, that's a tough side to play. Second base, first base, right field is just really, really hard for the next probably 15 or 20 minutes, maybe half hour.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count now to Krebs. Here comes that 2-2 pitch. High, it's going to run it full, 3-2. He's just missing. Krebs over in a crouch position there a little bit, making it a little bit more difficult. I thought he might have got rung up on that pitch, but it was just a little bit high and outside. Here comes the pitch, and that ball is inside, high and tight. It's going to be a walk there.
Yeah, that's a good at-bat there by number 10.
So it's going to be a base runner there for the Trojans. And I believe that might be, well, that's the second runner. Brooks was on base on an error. So Nope. That's
I
the
was
first
gonna say,
runner.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that's the first runner for the Trojans,
Yeah.
I believe. Braxton Carr makes his way in to talk to the third base coach. I'm sure they're just wanting to talk about the possibility of what he's going to do, whether he's going to bunt or whether he'll have the take or whether he'll have the hit sign. Getting a lead over there is Krebs from the stretch. Young. Outside ball one. Signs coming down from the third base coach. Has 1 ball, no strikes to count to Braxton Carr, the right fielder for Portsmouth. Here comes the 1-0 delivery, and that ball gets to the backstop, and that's going to allow
That was wild.
Krebs to go to second base. It was high and tight.
I believe that's a little bit more tight, Bob. That was behind the batter.
It's way tight. I should have said high and, well, way inside.
Yeah.
2 balls and no strikes to count. Comes the pitch from Tyler Young. Ball's bunted. Back to the mound. Young slips when he fell down. There's been no play as Young lost his footing. So that's going to be an infield hit. And so that will move the runner Krebs over to third base. So Portsmouth has a runner 90 feet away. And that's going to bring to the plate now the top of the order as Jacob Roth stands in. Is it 90 or 60 in high school?
90 feet on the bases and 60 feet, 6 inches from the mound to
There I
home.
go, 90 feet. Roth in his second at-bat grounded to Shockey in his first appearance.
Yeah, this is where we get in those spots, like we've talked about, Bob, where we kind of have these self-inflicted errors. I had a walk and then a wild pitch, and a guy tried to give himself up for a bunt. So now instead of having 1 out or maybe even 2 outs, we are with nobody out, runners on the corners at the top of the lineup. So
We do have 1 out. Copley struck out to lead the lead.
That's
There
correct.
goes the runner, fake throw. So now Carr is going to be at second. So 2 runners in scoring position for the Trojans. And that was a strike to Roth. So now no balls, 1 strike. So 2 runners in scoring position as there's no score. Infield in. Ball is attempted to bunt, popped up, and giving chase was Kenny. Gets back to the screen. So now it'll be no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Portsmouth coach is just explaining way to battle as he's hanging in there. You talked about that. Good at bats for the Trojans here, running the count full. Now the count here is no balls, 2 strikes. There's a ball that's hit down to center field, and
well, Foster's under that one.
Foster's going to make the catch, but the run's going to score. So sacrifice fly for Roth as he flies out to Matthew Foster in center field, but that's going to get a run home. Second out of the inning, and now the Trojans lead 1-0 as Krebs is going to score. So an RBI for Roth as he gets the RBI on the sacrifice fly, and that's going to bring to the plate J.T. Williams. Williams struck out in the first inning. Comes to bat here in the top half of inning number 3. Infield still in at the corners as Williams squared around a bunt, popped it up over the head of Kenny back to the Blue Devils dugout. No balls, 1 strike. 2 outs now for the Trojans. They lead 1-0.
Hey, getting out of this one with giving up 1 run would be excellent.
Yeah, that would be a big thing for the Blue Devils. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Again, fouled off. That one's going to be fouled off in between the 2 fields. Ball hits the concrete, takes a big high hop, bouncing on down toward the Blue Angels field. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bob Hood along with Chris Delaney on a beautiful Monday afternoon.
Got a curveball on him.
Play
And
third, and he's in.
I think he had it. He may have beat the throw. I'm not sure, but Maddox didn't catch the ball. So
It was a good throw by Kenny. He put it right on the base, and just a little trouble handling it there was Delaney. So resting now on third base will be Braxton Carr, the potential second run of the inning for the Trojans. Good throw by Kenny. He came right out of there, and that's difficult for a catcher.
And now he's going to score.
On a wild pitch. So that will now be 1 ball, 2 strikes as both runners have scored. No one now on base for Portsmouth. And Tyler Young, 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count with 2 outs. As J.T. Williams hitting for the second time. In case you're wondering, in the bottom of the inning, the Blue Devils will have the lower part of the lineup. They'll have Jackson Myers, Matthew Foster, and then the top of the order. The Blue Devils trail in this one 2-0. Here comes the pitch. Oh, just missed. Low. The count is now full to J.T. Williams, the left fielder for Portsmouth. Stepping out of the box for a moment. Back in. And here comes the full count pitch. That'll be ball 4, and Williams is going to take his base. The second walk of the evening.
Yeah, Young's looking a little shaken right now. He's going to step off the mound and walk around, kind of try and reset his head here.
Malachi Loper will step in for the Trojans. Loper in the second time at bat. He grounded out to Brady Conley in his first at bat.
Pretty good lead over there at first.
He's going to throw. He had a step.
Yeah,
he took a step.
He leaned.
He did. And Young almost caught him, but he's back. J.T. Williams over there at first base, back to first. There he goes. Ball's in the dirt, and he's going to go to second base with a stolen base. So now J.T. Williams is over at second. 1 ball, no strike to count to the hitter, Malachi Loper. 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. 1-1 now the count. 2 outs, 2-0 in favor of the Trojans. Both runs coming here in the third. Young to the belt. Here comes the pitch. Ball inside. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well as he's thrown in the first couple innings, Bob, he's kind of gotten back down in the bottom of the morale category here.
Here comes the 2-1 pitch inside. Low and inside. So that's going to run the count now to 3-1. As you said, Young was breezing along the first 2 innings, and really the top of the third, he got the first batter on strike.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Bob Hood, along with Chris Delaney, back at the Bob, where the Blue Devils trail 4-0. It's going to be Jackson Myers, Matthew Foster, Tyler Young, and hopefully more as the Blue Devils come to bat in the home half of the third inning, trailing 4-0. Jacob Roth on for his third inning of work, and that's going to be on the corner, strike one. It's going to run the count to, I believe it's 1-1. Yep, it's 1-1 now.
1-2.
Oh, one ball. There's a swing in it.
Yeah, he swung the ball over his head there. He, while we were away, he dribbled a foul ball off for the first strike.
Okay, I missed that.
That's okay.
So that's going to be the first out recorded by Roth. And now stepping in will be Matthew Foster, the center fielder for the Blue Devils. Yeah, we were trying to get back, and we're trying to get the audio back. And so here comes the first pitch, and that's going to be outside ball one. Drops behind the catcher, Brooks. 1 ball, no strike to count. I need to get a clicker. That way I can bring my clicker to the game. I had one time years ago.
I think Maddox actually took mine. I had one I kept just in case we ever needed it for umpires who would show up to games without having one. And he took it. I think he may have taken it yesterday. He and Jackson Myers actually, they called a couple 8th grade games, junior high games here last night against Warren. And I think he may have taken it from me then. So he's probably got it in his bag over there.
1 ball and 2 strikes. The count now on Matthew Foster. There's a ball that's popped up.
Out of play.
Out of play. So that's going to, count will remain 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blue Devils trail 4-0. 3 runs were plated by the Trojans in the third inning. And in the fourth?
4 runs, Bob.
Oh, 4 runs. You're right. Here again, I'm trying to get here. I thought I was perfect on getting the innings, top, bottom, home half.
Hey, baby steps, Bob.
Yeah, babies. You're right. Here comes pitch, fouled up.
Rome was not built in a day, as they
correct. Fouled behind the stand there where the announcers set, broadcasters stand. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the count outside. That's going to even it at 2-2. 1 out in the home half of the third inning. On a beautiful night here at the Bob. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Roth. Outside ball 3, so that's going to run it full. So we're 3 balls and 2 strikes. When you and I were talking about that before on the break about critiquing and rewatching the game. The other night I went home and rewatched the game. It made for a long evening, but
right at the left fielder.
They're drifting over and making the play is J.T. Williams, and that's going to be the second out. And I even watch Major League games and critique their announcers. I never critique the color man.
Yeah, well, if anybody needs it, it's that guy. But now I always tell people, hey, listen, if you're watching or if you're listening or whatever and you want to comment on something, if you like what we're doing, if you don't like what we're doing, if you think Bob needs to take more of a role and need to mute my microphone, go ahead and say so. It doesn't bother me at all. So just interact and let us know what you like or don't like so we can improve things for the next game.
There's an off-speed pitch outside, ball one to Tyler Young, the leadoff hitter. As Young steps in the first inning, he hit an opposite field fly ball to Williams, hits that ball opposite field, and that's going to get in the gap there, and that's going to be mishandled out there by Skurlock, and that's going to allow Young to go to second base with a double. So the ball was mishandled by Skurlock, but the ball, nothing away from the hit as Tyler Young hit a nice ball right in between the left fielder and center fielder.
Yeah, that's a nice hit there right in the gap. Those guys, left fielder and center fielder, they cover a lot of ground. I thought they were going to get to it, but thankfully they did not.
Speaking of having all kinds of equipment there, Young has to take off his sleeve that he wears for batting. And in steps Beckett Camden. Camden leads the Blue Devils in average this year, hitting .426. First time up, grounded out to the shortstop, Williams to Krebs. Wearing number 30. Roth working from the stretch. Here comes the pitch. Oh,
that's a
on
little
the
low.
corner. As now it's going to be no balls and 2 strikes.
Dustin must have gotten his eye from that one, Bob, and he wasn't sure, so he called it a strike.
No balls, 2 strikes, count, 2 outs. Little was hitting in the home half of the third. There was a ball grounded again to the shortstop, and he beat that out. Nope, he did not.
Well, I won't.
Oh no, Coach Canman. Now he did get a little boisterous there.
Well, that was because the umpire made a horrible call.
That was about as bad as you get, as he had that thing beat by 2 steps, and they're going to ask the home plate umpire to confer here. That was just horrible. I got to agree with you. Camden grounded to short, and Williams kind of bobbled the ball. Oh, my goodness.
Holy cow. And
so Camden grounds out.
well, they both made a terrible call. Even if he did get an appeal to the home plate umpire, that was a terrible call.
That was about as bad as you get.
Hey, and we're not trying to be homers here, folks.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
He was easy. He by step. You know, if any of you folks listening are familiar with Beckett Camden, that kid can absolutely motor. Shortstop fielded it, bobbled a little bit, and threw it, and beat him by at least a step. And then both umpires called that one wrong on the appeal. So, but hey, there's nothing we can do about that. That's the end of the inning.
End of the inning. No runs for the Blue Devils. 1 hit and 1 runner left on base. And now we played 3 complete. And your score from the Bob: Portsmouth 4, Gallia Academy nothing.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis. You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
Bob Hood back with Chris Delaney back at the Bob, where the Trojans are getting ready to come to bat in the top half of the 4th. It'll be Copley, Krebs, and Braxton Carr for Portsmouth, as this is where they started the last inning, as Copley struck out to start the innings, and then things fell apart for Tyler Young, the starter. On in relief is Nathan Shockey, and Shockey in his second inning of relief, and he'll be pitching to Copley to lead off.
You know, Bob, not to dwell on that call there, but the one thing you can notice is Coach Ken was getting worked up, and we're down 4 runs, and we had 2 outs. And that's one of those things where the 1-0 to Shockey's fouled off, 1-1, that when you get in a situation where you got the middle of your lineup coming out, and you got runners on the corners with 2 outs, a base hit or a couple base hits in a row can get you right back in the ballgame. So that was a really big call right there that didn't go our way. But and like we said, it didn't go our way, and it's over with, and we have to keep playing.
Well, and it ends the inning, too. And so the Blue Devils come away with no runs, so kind of stifled any kind of a rally, like you said. There's a pitch high and away by Nathan Shockey. 2 balls, 1 strike to count now to the leadoff hitter, Nick Copley. Copley is the third baseman for the Trojans. That's a strike. So two controversial controversial calls in this game. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. The first, again, first inning, there was a ball hit down the left
Smoked
field
right
line.
at Young, makes a nice, nope, he did not. He bobbled it, fell out of his glove. Thought he made a great play, but he did not. Almost.
So that ball is flied down to the left field, and that's going to be a base hit that we already marked down as an out. So, of course, Camden started in left field, and the Blue Devils did some switching around once Shockey came on. Here comes the pitch. And that's going to be an inopportune time there as Copley failed to advance over to second as the ball was thrown inside, way inside, to Krebs, actually behind him.
Bob just got an update from the softball field that the Gallia Academy girls are up 5-1 in the bottom of the 4th down there.
They're also playing Portsmouth. So appreciate that update there. There's a foul ball to the screen. So now it's going to even the count at 1-1, and Copley will have to go back to first base. 1-1 the count. Portsmouth leads in this one 4-0. Scored all 4 runs in the 3rd inning. To the belt, Shockey. Here comes the pitch. Ball's lined down the left field line fair. Takes a couple hops. And that's going to advance the runners to second base. Now we have runners on first and second for Portsmouth.
If they're just hitting it like we touched on before the game, Bob, they're going to hit it all over the place. We just have to field it.
And and that was a good point you made earlier in the game, and that is they're going to put the ball in play, which they have done all night long. Here's Braxton Carr as Copley reached, and also Krebs. Copley the runner at second, Krebs the runner at first. Braxton Carr, the right fielder, wears number 22. Shockey from the belt. And he looked like he was going to turn, but he didn't turn to bunt. And that's going to be outside ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes to count.
Well, Bob, I'll be honest with you, if I was Portsmouth and we couldn't field a bunt, I'd keep bunting it too.
And we did not field that the last time. There's a bunt. That's foul. So that's going to now make even the count 1-1. So the last time we did not field that properly as Young had a little bit of trouble coming off the mound. And then we had a bunt that they clearly went as a base hit. So 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Braxton Carr. Foul ball. So that's going to be now 1 ball, 2 strikes. So now he'll be swinging. No outs. Top half of the 4th here at the Bob. Thank you for joining us on a beautiful evening here. Part of me always wants to say Memorial Field, but from the Bob here in Centenary, here's the pitch. It is bunted right back to the mound, and Shockey is not going to make a play, so the bases are going to be loaded now.
Again, that's a sacrifice bunt back to the pitcher, and we can't make a play on it. That's the killer for us.
So the bases are loaded. Copley at third, Krebs at second. Now Braxton Carr, the runner at first. And stepping in will be Jacob Roth, who is the pitcher of record for the Trojans, at least at this point in the fourth inning. To the belt is Shockey. Swing and a miss by Roth. Boy, he took a hefty swing at that one. Shockey working from the stretch. All runners have a short lead. Here comes the pitch. That's a strike. No balls and 2 strikes now. No one out. Bases full of red jerseys. As Portsmouth leads in this one 4-0 and attempting here to really break it wide open. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be a ball low and outside. So now the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Trojans lead it 4-0 with men on base. Here comes the pitch. Popped up, and that's going to be out of play in behind the Blue Devils dugout. So now it's going to be 1 ball, 2 strikes. Infield playing in a little shallow. Right fielder shaded just a little bit over towards center. Center fielder Foster straight ahead. Well, there's a lot of room in the right center there. The ball's going to be hit to left field and making the catch. And that's going to be an RBI as Roth flies out to left field.
Nice play there by Young. Go back on that ball. It's a lot tougher than people think to go back on a ball that's hit directly over your head. To have to turn and keep your head on a swivel and find the ball is a lot harder than people seem to think it is.
So Tyler Young makes that play, and he started the game for the Blue Devils. And the ball was hit pretty well, actually. And like you said, Tyler did a good job getting there. Here now in the bat is J.T. Williams. It's the ball back over the screen, strike 1. It is now 5-0 as Copley scores. J.T. Williams standing in, struck out in the first and got aboard on a base on ball in the third in the inning in which the Trojans scored 4 times. They now lead 5-0 with 2 more runners on. Here comes the pitch, and that's outside. Just missed with that one. 1 ball, 1 strike to count now from Nathan Shockey on in relief. You talked about this prior to the game, but Portsmouth is a very well coached, very well disciplined team. Huge lead over there. There's a bunt.
Here we go again.
Shockey falls down.
We just can't field routine plays. I don't know if it's slippery out there or what, Bob, but we can't field the ball. I mean, that's 3 sacrifice bunts right back to the pitcher, and we've yet to get an out. So, not to criticize our boys too hard, but I mean, this is baseball 101. You field the ball and you throw guys out, and we're struggling to do it right now.
Braxton Carr now the runner at third. Krebs is at second. Krebs is at third. Carr is at second. J.T. Williams now over aboard at first. So Portsmouth has 3 runners on. Good leads there. Here comes the pitch to Malachi Loper. Loper grounded out in the first and grounded ball that he got a board on in the third and later came around to score. There's a ball lifted to left field. That's going to be caught there by Young. Tagging, and nope, he's not going anywhere.
Changed his mind. And
oh, no, they got a runner.
Good decision there probably by Logan Kinney to not throw that ball back behind the run. He probably had him toast, but with that sun, you just never know. Brady Conley loses it in the sun, and it goes all the way to the right field fence, and they score a couple, 3 more runs. So, you know, as much as you want to take that out, he probably made the right decision there.
As Williams was way off of the base, he had run all the way, almost halfway between first and second. So Krebs at third, Carr at second, and J.T. Williams over. First of all, gets away on a pickoff attempt, and that's going to score Krebs, and that's going to move Carr over to third, as Krebs is going to score as they attempted to pick off Krebs at third.
I don't know, some miscommunication there, but attempt over there to third base, and I don't think he would have had him anyway. He's only about a step off. So looks like we're going to walk number 5 here.
So walking is going to be Brooks, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Colin Perry. 2 outs, a 6-0 lead now for the Trojans. They've scored twice here in their half of the fourth. 6-0 in favor of Portsmouth. Here comes the pitch. Oh, just missed hitting the batter. I started to say just missed inside, but it just missed hitting Perry. He did lift his foot to avoid being hit by the pitch. 1 ball, no strikes, the count from Nathan Shockey. Here comes the pitch. The ball's popped up, and coming off the mound is going to be Shockey. He's going to make the catch, and that's going to retire the inning. So Perry flies out to the pitcher. That's going to end the inning for Portsmouth. For Portsmouth, they come up with 2 runs on 2 hits, 3 runners left on base. And we've now played 4.5, and your score is Portsmouth 6 and the Blue Devils nothing.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Bob Hood along with Chris Delaney back at the Bob here, where it's going to be the home half of the fourth for the Blue Devils. Logan Drummond, Maddox Delaney, and Brady Conley coming to the plate for the Blue Devils. They trail in this one 6-0 as Gallia Academy looking to give some hits and score some runs, and much needed.
Yeah, we're in those spots like we've talked before, Bob, sitting right here in this box that, there's no 6-run home runs. There's no 6-run hits. So this is the kind of thing where you just have to chip away, get 1 or 2 an inning, and not give anything up. That's the big thing is if you score a couple runs and then you come right back out and give a couple back up, you've put yourself back exactly where you were with one less inning to do it. So we have to get at least a couple runs here.
Nice shot there, man's best friend. The dog there is on the here this evening. As I was walking just before the game started, there's ball 1 to Drummond. As I was walking over, some of the fans there were coming there. There's that shot. And they had 2 dogs actually on a leash when they were walking over here to the game. And I remarked about how well controlled they were. Here was a 1-0 pitch, outside ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes to count now to Drummond. Thank you for getting a shot there. That
The puppy dog.
puppy dog. Very well behaved. Here comes the 2-0 pitch way outside and low, ball 3. So that's going to be a 3-0 count.
Let's just hope right on cue he doesn't start attacking people, Bob. That'd be on you for calling him out for being a good dog.
I read a story today in the Columbus Dispatch about a raccoon that was like that. A raccoon was very well controlled, and the homeowner kept bragging about how well controlled he was, and he turned on the homeowner, and she went in the hospital with some facial lacerations. So that can happen. There's a strike there to Logan Drummond, the Blue Devil third baseman, or Blue Devil shortstop. The shortstop. There's outside ball 4, so that's going to be a base on ball there. And so Drummond aboard, and it's going to be a base runner there for the Blue Devils, and that will bring Maddox Delaney to the plate. And hopefully this will be what we need to get rolling.
Yeah, get the leadoff guy on. That's a big start. Hopefully we can get a few guys in here.
So here comes the Roth now on in his 4th inning of work. It's pitched a pretty good game for the Trojans. Here comes the first pitch.
And not a good start of the at-bat there for Maddox.
This was fouled off. You might have heard it hit the dugout there beside us. So that's going to be no balls and 1 strike. The count now to Delaney, who's hitting 333.
There you go. There's that good dog. He got out on the field, causing a delay, Bob. You jinxed him.
Yeah, I did. They opened the gate down the first baseline. And shoot, wouldn't you know?
Well, hey, listen, if that's the worst thing he does, we're going to be okay.
Drummond taking a short lead over there at first. Held on there. There's a swing and a miss by Delaney. Now no balls, 1 strike. Well, yeah, no balls and 2 strikes now as the first pitch was fouled up on top of the dugout. So no balls, 2 strikes. As holding him on over there is Preston Krebs. Here comes the pitch. That ball is outside, so it's going to be 1-2 now. As very smartly over there, Drummond stays put. Blue Devils don't need anybody to be thrown out, any base running errors.
Quick shout out to the people sending me text messages and appreciate that we're listening, and hope you're enjoying everything you hear so far.
They appreciate the good work that the color commentators doing. That's what they're saying. I know.
Probably what it is. I didn't want to take all the credit, Bob, but I'll share it with you.
Okay, all right. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count now to the Blue Devils third baseman Maddox Delaney. Roth to the stretch, lead over there by Drummond. Just off of the dirt over on the grass. There's a ball hit to the backstop screen. So now the count's going to be 2-2, no one out. Blue Devils hitting in the home half of the 4th, trailing in this one 6-0. Roth on the pitch here again from the belt. And here comes the 2-2 delivery. Oh, an off-speed pitch outside.
Good eye. I think he really wanted to go after that one, Bob. Good at bat to get back into it, down 0-2, and it worked at full. So good job here. Hopefully he can win it.
Roth stands behind the rubber now.
Make his mama proud.
Going to back up on top. Comes to the stretch, and here comes the pitch.
Good eye. Good at bat there by Maddox.
So the second consecutive walk there by the Portsmouth pitcher, and that's going to bring to the plate now Brady Conley.
Those are the at bats that we gotta have. We gotta win those at bats. You hear Coach Camden talking about winning the at bat. Right there, that's a perfect example of it. Now we got runners on first and second with nobody, so we gotta get rolling here.
Conley stepping in, was forced out there in that wild play there in the second inning. Takes outside ball 1 as Roth has run into a little bit of a control problem. He's walked the first 2 hitters as Drummond is now down at second base and Delaney over there at first. So here comes Conley. Roth steps back off the rubber, now back up on top. Rubs the baseball and set the pitch. Here comes the pitch. That's a strike. Good pitch there by Roth. It's going to even the count now. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Roth is only at about 42 pitches, Bob, too, so he's throwing really efficiently.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a quick throw down to first, and they got him.
Well,
so
not napping, you get thrown out. Right there, that's rule number 1. You keep your head on a swivel when you get back to the bag, and he was not doing it there. That's a rally killer right there. He can shake his head all he wants, but you get thrown out like that, you get thrown behind like that, it's because you're napping. So you can make all the excuses you want, but we can't have that.
So Maddox Delaney thrown out there from Brooks to Krebs, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. And here comes the pitch, and there's a ball that's hit to
And
weak
just
center
like
field,
that.
and that's going to drop in. And having to hold up at second base, there was Drummond because he thought the ball might get caught. And so he's going to advance all the way to third on the single there by Conley. So now instead of having the bases loaded and no one out, we have first and third on the corners with one out.
Yeah, I can be harsh on that call because he's my kid, but you go from bases loaded with nobody out to runners on the corners with one out because he got too far off the bag. So if he hadn't been that far off the bag, the guy wouldn't have thrown behind him and he wouldn't have had an opportunity to get out. So those little mistakes right there are what stopped him from getting back in the ball game.
Nathan Shockey steps into the plate. Here's the pitch outside. And should the Blue Devils continue to rally, that will hurt more and more. But like you've said before earlier in the game, you have to shake it off and move on.
Mm-hmm.
1 ball, 2 balls now, no strikes. Throw over to first. Nothing doing there. Back in is Conley. Drummond at third. Conley at first. 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Popped up down the right field line. And
could be trouble. No, they got some carry on it.
And he's going to tag. Drummond's going to tag, and he is going to score on a throw that got over the head of the catcher. So an RBI on a sacrifice fly for Conley. And that's going to be the first run of the night for the Blue Devils as Conley gets a sacrifice on a long fly ball to right field.
Shockey got.
Oh, yeah. As he got a long fly ball there on sacrifice fly. So that's going to bring in the first run for the Blue Devils. I just failed to move Conley along. Here's the pitch now to Reese Toller. Toller in the designated hitter spot tonight. Does some catching from time to time. And throw over to first. Nothing doing there. So Drummond scores the first run. Conley still on board for the Blue Devils. Here comes the pitch. Ball is rounded to short. Up with the ball in there. He's going to field it cleanly. So Reese Toller is going to reach on an error by the shortstop. And that's going to allow Conley to go over to second base. And that's going to now bring to the plate Jackson Myers. Hey, we'll take them all we can get.
Yes, sir. I don't want to dwell on it, but again, that error, if Maddox had not got thrown out at first, he just scored most likely on that ball. So
Jackson Myers, the right fielder for tonight, wears number 22. Blue Devils have runners on first and second. There's a ball low. Myers struck out in his first time at the plate in third. 0 for 1. Hitting here in the bottom of the fourth. Swing and a miss. So now the count even at 1 ball, 1 strike to the Blue Devil right fielder. Here comes Roth to the belt. Here comes the pitch. Outside. Jackson ahead in the count. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. 1 runner in, 2 on base. Blue Devils trail 6-1. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. So now the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coach Camden reminding the base runners there's 2 outs, and the batter he has 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. The ball's hit down the left field line, and that's going to
right
be
at him.
an easy catch there for Williams, and that's going to retire the Blue Devils. But Gallia Academy does come up with a run in the home half of the fourth. 1 run on 2 hits. There was 2 runners left on base. We have now played 4 complete here at the Bob, and your score, Portsmouth 6 and the Blue Devils 1.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Bob Hood along with Chris Delaney as Portsmouth comes to hit in the visitors' top half of the fifth inning. It's going to be Williams, Copley, Krebs for Portsmouth, who lead in this one 6-1. And you and I were talking at the break about just some of those little incidental things that make a difference in a ball game, and running and fielding mistakes. And I know, you and I have talked, Chris, I know we're not at the major league level, so these things happen at the high school level. But still, they're inning-ending plays, and they're twin-killing plays, and they're rally-killing plays.
Oh, yeah. We've had two of those. When you look at it, the runner interference call, which I didn't see, but that kind of squashed anything we had going. And then just now, I hate to keep harping on him and speaking ill of him, but, we had something cooking there, and Maddox getting picked off from behind first base, which is a huge no-no, and that killed anything we had going there.
So Portsmouth comes to bat here in their half of the fifth, top half of the fifth. They lead in this one by a score of 6-1. If you're just joining us, as it's the Blue Devils are converging now around the mound. Nathan Shockey on in relief of Tyler Young, and in to do the leadoff duties for the Trojans will be Cameron Williams. We'll see what Portsmouth can do here in their half of the fifth. Here comes Shockey with the first pitch. Just misses, ball one. So now we're going to, we almost need, there we go, a little bit of shade there. We need kind of a flip down so we can see the monitor there. There's a ball that's laced
way up high in the sky, Bob.
Yeah, it is. I had to stand up to find out where the ball was. So the ball is flied out there, and so the Blue Devils come away there. Now in that switch.
That's a pop-up to the second baseman. That's a P4 for their scoring at home.
And the Blue Devils made a change there in left field and second base in the third inning. So one out now has Williams popped out, and that's going to bring Nick Copley to the plate. As Portsmouth has had some activity in the bullpen there. Here's a ground ball foul past Delaney down the line. And the Trojans had some activity there in the bullpen there in between the innings.
Well, Bob, I just got word that the Portsmouth softball team down there has taken the lead off a big run rally, and they're up 7-5.
Nick Copley, thanks for the update. Here comes Copley. The pitch just missed from Shockey. So Copley stepping in for his second at-bat. Struck out in the third, got aboard in the fourth, and scored the third Trojan run. Ball fouled over the screen. A nice almost catch back there by one of the fans. Coach Harris retrieves the ball down the line and puts the ball back in play, and we're ready to move on.
Mm-hmm.
We're still waiting. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count. He just wanted to get it on the radio. That's what he wanted. from the belt. Here comes the pitch from Shockey. Off-speed pitch, swing and a miss.
Nice
And
pitch there.
That was a nice pitch. So strikeout there by Nathan Shockey. That's going to be the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring Preston Krebs to the plate. Krebs, the first baseman for the Trojans, reached both times, scored both times. First time on a base on ball, second time on a base hit. So he's 1 for 1, scored 2 runs, steps in wearing number 10. Here comes the first offering, high, ball 1. Want to know the pitch, want to know the count. The Rio Grande ladies softball team is now going to the Nationals, as they had a great weekend of softball there on the University of Rio Grande campus. And they'll be playing. They've had a few more games left. So speaking of softball, that's what caught my attention there, as the softball team has really taken off out there, and they are now 41-9 on the season. And they have qualified for the national tournament, and they will start conference play in Charleston on Thursday with a record of 41-9.
That's pretty solid, Bob. I don't know a whole lot about college softball, but anyone 41-9 is having a pretty good season.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Preston Krebs, the Trojans' first baseman. They mostly played double headers, and they were really struggling over the weekend to get those Saturday, Sunday games in with the weather. Foul ball back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count remains. As 2 outs here in the visitors' half of the 5th. They lead it 6-1. So softball, a little bit faster action. Of course, the field is more condensed. I don't know if you've ever watched a college softball game on the TV, but boy, they can really go at it. There's a ball that's popped up in the infield and going over Camden.
That's Drummond making the
Drummond
play.
made the play there. I thought Camden was going to make the play. Logan Drummond takes care of it. So that's going to record the 3rd out of the inning, and the Blue Devils, Portsmouth retired 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We've now played 4.5, and your score is Portsmouth 6 and the Blue Devils 1.
And just to recap that softball game, at the end of the top half of a back-breaking 6th inning, Portsmouth scored 6 runs to go up on top 9-5 after the top of the 6th.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Bob Hood along with Chris Delaney. As far as Major League Baseball is concerned, the Cardinals and the Reds are tied in the top of the 4th 1-1, and the Minnesota Twins lead the Cleveland Guardians 4-0 in the 4th inning. Other scores around Major League Baseball: Baltimore is ahead of the Yankees 1-0 in the middle of the 3rd, and all other games are this evening. So, we have one game this afternoon. The Mets beat the Nationals. Get this, 19-5. The Mets are having a pretty good season at 21-9 now. The Mets are, and having a good season. They won a big time today against the Washington Nationals. And here the score is 6-1 in favor of the Trojans. There's the first pitch from Roth, and a swing and a miss to Matthew Foster. Foster, the center fielder. Roth on in the 5th inning of work for him. There's a ball hit over the screen. Foul. No balls and 2 strikes now. As the Blue Devils hitting in the home half of the 5th.
I'll tell you what, Bob, you give a lot of credit to this Portsmouth pitcher, Roth. He's gotten ahead of just about every batter, at least by a strike or maybe even 2. So it's really hard as a hitter to get comfortable when you're constantly down in the count. So give credit to him for that.
There's a waste pitch there by Roth, so here comes a pitch outside, ball 2. So the count now is 1 ball, 2 strikes. I thought it was actually 2-2. Here comes the offering from Roth. That's going to be outside. Now the count's going to be 2-2.
I think it's full. I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, yeah, we will find out.
Eventually.
It is 3 balls, 2 strikes. Okay, that's what I thought. It was fouled off. It's going to continue to be 3 balls, 2 strikes. As the sun is now setting, it has crept in over the third baseline, creeping out toward the mound. As the third baseline is now in the shade, and all of left field, except for the left fielder, all of shallow left field is in the sun. Here's a ball roped to left center, and that's going to get in for a base hit.
There we go.
And now aboard is Matthew Foster with a hit. And that ball, he hit that ball solid.
On the screws, as they say.
And in the left center field, that's going to be a base hit, and that's going to be the first runner aboard. That's going to bring Tyler Young, the leadoff hitter, to the plate tonight. Young is 1 for 2 as he flied out to Williams in the first, then got aboard in the third. Young bats from the left side. Hit the ball hard in the first. Unfortunately, it was right at Williams. Here comes the pitch from Roth. That's a strike. Good pitch. As the plate will soon go into the shader. The throw over, a high throw over to first. Nothing
Nice
doing
play
there.
to bring that in by the first baseman over there.
As Krebs had to chase that one a little bit. As Roth made a fast move over. Here comes a pitch, an off-speed pitch. That's a strike.
Again, here we're down 0-2.
No balls, 2 strikes, the count on the Blue Devil left fielder who started pitching. If you just joined us, Portsmouth came away in that 3rd inning with 4 runs to jump out to a 4-0 lead. There's an off-speed pitch outside. That's going to now be 2-2, even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. As the Blue Devils have Foster aboard, the leadoff hitter in the home half of the 5th. Here comes the pitch. Bouncing ball back to the mound. It takes a backspin. Roth's going to throw low. He gets the out at first on a low throw. Another good dig out there by Krebs over at first. As that's going to be the first out. And that's going to bring Beckett Camden to the plate, who grounded out twice to Williams, that shortstop. Grounded out in the first, grounded out in the third. Ended the inning in the third. As the Blue Devils now have a runner at second base in Matthew Foster. 1 out. Camden the hitter. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Coach Camden giving some instructions to his runner. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss.
Out in front there.
1 not even to count at 1-1. As Coach Camden giving some instructions here to both his batter and his runner. There's the ball hit down to the shortstop again. And that's going to be a space hit, as I thought for sure they might get Foster for interference. But
well, he didn't. That's his base path.
That's exactly right. No interference there. But the way we've come
Yeah.
away with the calls tonight, I kind of feared that, as Foster had to hop over the ball. But like you said, that's his base path, And so for the third consecutive time at bat, Camden grounds to the shortstop. This time he's aboard.
And now we got a little something going here. Runners on the corners with one out with our number 3 hitter, Logan Drummond, coming up.
Foster taking a little lead there. They're going to throw down to second, and they're going to throw back to third to try to get Foster, but nothing doing. He didn't go very far.
He was off there.
Yeah, but the second baseman came in, Loper, to take the cutoff throw.
Mm-hmm.
And throwing down was Brooks, who actually the play was on. He threw the ball to Loper. They went ahead and let Camden go on into second base. So Camden at second, and now Foster over at third. Count is 1-1. With one out, the Blue Devils have runners on second and third, trailing in this one 6-1, but rallying here. There's a ball foul back to the screen. Not to go back and harp again, but should the Blue Devils have gotten a couple more runs here, we'd be at like possibly 6-3 with a tying run maybe at the plate.
Yes, sir.
Who knows?
Those are little things like we've talked about.
And coming back on the defensive fly, there's a ball
That's
laced to
down.
left field. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to score one. And stopping at third base is going to be Camden. So an RBI on a nice hit by Drummond. And that's going to move the runner to third, and that's going to score Matthew Foster. So Foster scored, and Beckett Camden comes to third. So now Camden on third, and on first is Logan Drummond with the RBI. Nice base hit.
Well, we've got Maddox Delaney stepping into the box. I'm sure he wants to make up for that bonehead play earlier he made. So good spot for him to do it.
There goes the runner, and that's going to be the same. Now they're going to throw down to second. And had we known what had happened, the ball skipped in front of the base. And had we known what would happen, Camden would have scored.
Well, Bob, had we known is a
that's
gambler saying, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an all-important, had we known what happened yesterday. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Here comes the pitch. Off-speed pitch fouled back to the screen.
Had we known that was a king, I would have folded, Bob, as they say, right? Had I known.
You gotta know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta know when.
Kenny Rogers.
You gotta know when to play your house. Play your strong card there. Play your suit. And really, you don't know on that throw down the catcher whether they're going to throw.
That's going to get down. That should get one in. Base hit there.
Coming over to third base and stopping is going to be Drummond.
Okay, got another one in.
So coming in to score was Camden. So Beckett is the second run of the inning, and that's going to bring the coach out of the bullpen, and I'm sure we're going to have probably a pitching change here.
Probably right.
As a hit by Maddox Delaney, and Delaney with a nice single to center field, and that's going to put Logan Drummond all the way over to third base, and so now we have runners at the corners with one out.
Pitching change here. Number 4, I'm not sure his name, but this is the this was the rotation they went when we played down there, Bob. We got Roth, and then number 4 came in, and he throws a lot slower, and our guys gets their timing messed up, and it's hard to adjust for a slower pitcher. But hopefully, I say that a lot with this team, hopefully we can adjust like we did the other day. Rock Hill brought a guy in that was throwing almost an arcing fastball, and we struggled initially, but we got lined out and started hitting the ball against him. So hopefully we can get the same magic going right here.
Landon Malone is the pitcher now that comes on. And for Roth, he is going to work 4 1/3 innings. Of course, Drummond and Maddox are his responsibility. And but a good outing for Roth, going 4 1/3. And, of course, the book's not closed on him yet, as you well know.
Yep.
So the Blue Devils now 6-3. They trail with the tying run now coming to the plate. And just one out. So the Blue Devils have rallied here, and you talked about that. And the Blue Devils have really needed this all evening long.
Mm-hmm.
and they finally put back-to-back hits together.
Yep.
And put a nice hit there by Camden, nice hit by Drummond, nice hit by Delaney, and puts the Blue Devils back in. It was led off by a nice single to left center by Matthew Foster. So 4 hits in the inning, and just what you said. And that is that the Blue Devils needed to string together a couple of hits.
Yeah, let's get a couple more here. One quick shout-out. I got another text. Anytime I get a text, I got a shout-out. But the incomparable one and only Tom Long just sent a text, said he's listening in. So, Tom, let me know what you're thinking, if you like what we're doing, if you don't like what we're doing. So let us know. Appreciate you listening.
I'm sure he already said he likes the color commentator.
Yep, probably. Yeah. Him and my mom, probably, the only 2 people.
I do. I'll say I do.
And there's our hit ball by Brady Conley right up the middle. And nice, easy toss to get the double play. So
Conley rounds into a inning-ending double play, but for the Blue Devils, they do pick up 2 runs on 3 hits. There were 2 runners left on base, and now we've played 5 complete. And your score, Portsmouth 6 and the Blue Devils 3.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Bob Hood along with Chris Delaney back at the Bob, where it's going to be Braxton Carr, Jacob Roth, and J.T. Williams to hit here on the top of the 6th for the Trojans, who lead 6-3. As Nathan Shockey on in relief of the starter for the night, Tyler Young.
And right on cue, we're making a pitching change, Bob. So,
wouldn't you know?
Looks like Beckett Camden is going to come in and relieve Shockey, who will most likely go to second base. That's his everyday position. So, yeah, that's what it looks like is what's going on here.
So Camden comes in of relief, and this will be his first inning in relief for Shockey. 2 1/3, I believe.
My game changer is behind. Let's see here. Okay, final line on Shockey is 2 1/3 innings pitched. Gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, only 1 of them earned. He struck out 1 and he walked 1.
So there's your pitching line on the Blue Devils' second baseman now, Nathan Shockey. Actually, he had a little bit of trouble there in the middle, but he came in and did well. And then once he got settled down, he actually pitched pretty well.
Yeah. He shot himself in the foot with that balk, scored a run on the balk, too. That's another one.
That's right.
If we get back in the game, you'll kind of look at and say, well, shoot, that was another mistake. But, we can't do anything about those, as we've said multiple times today. But Beckett Camden on the hill right now, and he's got this almost a submarine sidearm delivery that you really just don't see a lot of, if at all, in high school. It's almost, it's coming down sidearm, and it's really hard for guys to pick the ball up.
So Beckett will be on in his first inning of relief, in his first inning relief. And like you mentioned, Nathan Shockey going back to second base. So hitting here for the Trojans will be Braxton Carr, Jacob Roth, and J.T. Williams in the visiting half of the 6th inning. As the sun is continuing to set now, all the way over to the pitcher is shaded. And a lot of the shallow left field is completely shaded, and out beyond shortstop is shaded, if you're familiar here with the Bob. And the rest of the week, the Blue Devils are home Thursday, correct?
That is correct. Home against South Point, and then they follow the next night. They go down to Chesapeake. So, like I said before, I think nothing official, but as of Saturday afternoon, Megs was wanting to reschedule their game that we have with them tomorrow to May 12th, but nothing official as far as I know. So, as to my knowledge, we will be playing tomorrow at Megs. That should be a 5 o'clock game. That's not a conference game. The conference games we play are 5:30 starts, and the out-of-conference games are slated to start at 5.
For the Reds fans that are listening, the Reds picked up a run there on the Cardinals and go up now 2-1. There's a strike in the first offering from the Beckett Camden.
And also one more final update from the softball game. Portsmouth came back and beat Gallia Academy 9-7.
There's a ball outside, so the count now even at 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Braxton Carr, the right fielder for the Trojans. Outside ball 2. It's going to be 2-1 now. As charging, Delaney was charging from third, in on the grass. As Conley is playing even with the bag at first. There's a strike. Nope, outside ball 3. 3-1. I thought that was a strike. That's what I get for thinking.
Not surprised that they're bunting here. We still haven't fielded one clean yet.
There's ball 4, so that's going to be a base on balls for Carr. And you hate to see the leadoff hitter, but you also hate to see the person batting in the 9-hole get on board, because that brings the top of the order to bat, and that would be Jacob Roth, who hit a sacrifice in the 3rd, flied out to the first baseman. Oh,
there he goes. Throws there. Did he tag him? Nope.
So stolen base for Carr, who beat the throw. Nice throw down there by Logan Kenny. And just not applied the tag. I thought it was a bang-bang play, to be honest with you.
The throw was good. It was a good throw. Just must have got his hand in.
They've got, fake throw back behind by Camden. Nobody was covering. So
I'll tell you, Bob, I don't know how that's the ground ball to Brady Conley.
He's going to tag out the runner. So he tags out Roth, and that's going to be 3 unassisted if you're scoring with us. The first out of the inning, and that's going to bring J.T. Williams to the plate. Whoa!
I'll tell you, Bob, I'm not sure how your sense of smell is, but one of my favorite times of the year is the springtime when it starts cooling down in the evening. You get that honeysuckle scent in the air. I'll tell you what, it's tough to beat that. But the only thing that can catch you off guard, maybe somebody gooses you when you're not paying attention. But
and then you go, oh, ouch, on the radio. And I'll just go ahead and say it. I'll put it on the air. Sheriff Matt Champlin. By the way, Sheriff Champlin, you got to be happy with your Steelers in the NFL draft.
That's probably the best draft that I've seen in my lifetime.
Yeah, me too.
You're going to sell a lot of uniforms, a lot of jerseys this year. Won't win many games, but
look at him. He's already got his Ohio State hat on. Here's a ball that hits the shortstop and just gets through Logan Drummond. And that's going to be a hit and another run there for the Trojans. So Carr is going to score, and that's going to be the 7th run of the game for the Trojans. And on with a base hit is going to be J.T. Williams. That's going to bring Malachi Loper to the plate. Loper this evening struck out in the 1st, reached on a base on balls on the 2nd, and then had a hit in the 4th. Where's number 15? As Williams gets a lead over there first. Don't be surprised if you bunt right here. Now, that wouldn't even be the right call, would it, Chris?
Well, it wouldn't be typically, no. But like I said, we've gotten 3 sacrifice bunts and we haven't gotten anybody out. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if he squared around here. But
Kenny's throw down gets around behind.
But
Drummond.
he is the is this a leadoff or a second?
Second.
Yeah.
Third.
Third batter.
Williams is on the lead, the second batter.
Yeah, I don't think I'd bunt with him.
So Malachi Loper, who grounded out to Conley in the 1st, flied out to Beckett Camden in left in the 4th. Here comes the pitch, swing and a miss on a nice pitch there by Beckett Camden. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count, 1 out. Trojans lead in this one 7-3. Here comes the pitch. And that ball gets to the backstop, and that's going to allow Williams to come on over to third. So JT Williams advances to third.
I think we were checking to see if he went around on that swing, but the base umpire is not interested in a discussion.
As has been the case all evening long between the two umpires. Here comes the 2-2 pitch now. Foul back over the screen. The sheriff can't field those balls if he's down here harassing us. You know that?
No, that's probably why he's down here. He probably gets plenty of harassment. People wanting the Gallipolis Chit Chat Facebook page information, and they think, well, what better source than the top cop? So he's over here hiding where nobody wants to be around me and you, Bob. He knows it's safe.
I like that top cop. That's good. That's a good name. As you're the top goat for color commentating, and I happen to be the top. Well, anyway, never mind.
That's okay. Put that little feather in your cap.
Uh-oh. Ball hit to center field. Foster going back, and not too far. It's going to catch the ball. It's going to be a score run, though, as Williams will score from third base. So a sacrifice fly for a Loper, and that's his second RBI tonight as he flies out to Matthew Foster, as that's going to be the second out. And that's going to bring Trevin Brooks to the plate. So the Trojans now lead 8-3 as they are hitting in the home half of the sixth. Working from the stretch, Beckett Camden. On in his first inning he actually relieved Nathan Shockey as Beckett steps off the mound. Now back up on top. Comes set. Here comes the pitch. Low and away, ball one. So the count now, 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Your score 8-3 as Portsmouth hitting in their half of the sixth. There's a ball that accidentally hits the bat, bounces foul. So it's going to run the count now to 1-2. Don't worry, I'm moving.
That was we were discussing number 5's. Matt and I were discussing number 5's plate approach. It's a little different than a little unorthodox.
See, I have to turn around and broadcast like this, so I keep my eye on him. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Trevin Brooks. Where's number 5? He raises that left foot. Is what you got. I know there's a ball that hit him. So that's going to be a hit batsman. And that's going to put him on board. So now coming to the plate will be Cullen Perry, the designated hitter. Perry hits for Leland Skurlock, who plays center field. Haven't heard much action out of Skurlock tonight, a couple times. But Skurlock plays center field, and Perry is the designated hitter who hits for him. Short lead over there by Brooks. I don't think he's going anywhere. There's a bouncing ball to first base, and that's going to be handled by Conley. Steps on the base, and that's going to end the inning for the Trojans. But Portsmouth scores 2 more, and now after 5.5, they lead in this one 8-3.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Welcome back here to the Bob Eastman Ball Field in Centenary, Ohio, at Gallia Academy High School. Chris Delaney here with Bob Hood. Heading into the bottom of the 6th inning with Gallia Academy trailing 8-3.
We're talking a little bit with the sheriff about the NFL draft that was going on, and really the Browns kind of, I don't know, the Browns always kind of bobble it up a little bit in the NFL draft, and maybe they need to go back and watch the Game Day movie and see exactly how to, but anyway, they did come away with some players that they needed. It wasn't really a bad draft for the Browns. The first stunt they pulled there with that trade was kind of mind-boggling, but that's okay. They're just preparing for next year. They did sign Deontay Jackson. Great, good for that.
Crazy thing about the Browns, though, is they're getting ready for next year every year, Bob.
That is true. That is true, and yeah, that's true.
They've been getting ready for next year since about 1988, I think.
I told my good friend Tim Carmen last year we'll have to start printing tickets to the championship game, and then all of a sudden look what happens. No Super Bowl for the Browns after about the 3rd game. Wait till next year. No balls and 1 strike to count us. We got a new pitcher, I believe.
Now, this is a guy that came in, got the double play last inning.
Okay, so this is still Malone. Landon Malone is the pitcher who came on for Jacob Roth. He threw 1 pitch and got the out. So
yeah, that was a huge double play.
It was. So Nathan Shockey steps in.
And flies that one to short, shallow center.
And making the catch there is Skurlock. I talked about not hearing from him. And there Shockey flies out. So Nathan Shockey flies out to Skurlock, and that's going to bring to the plate Reese Toller. Toller tonight is grounded out to second base the first time up, reached on an error the second time in the 4th. And so Reese handled some of the catching duties from time to time. Tonight hitting in the designated hitter spot, outside ball 1. Malone relieves Jacob Roth, who was the starter for the Trojans. Here comes the pitch from Malone. And that ball's hit to second base, and that's going to be an easy can of corn for Malachi Loper. Just like that can of corn.
Can of corn? Yeah, that's one of my favorite players on Ken Griffey Jr.'s winning run on Super Nintendo. He batted behind Ken Griffey Jr. on the Mariners. His name was Can o' Corn.
A term used by broadcasters. Yeah, that kind of dates me. So anyway, 2 outs now for the Blue Devils, and that's going to bring to the plate Jackson Myers. Myers tonight struck out in the 3rd and hit a fly ball to J.T. Williams, the left fielder, in the 4th.
Yeah, Bob, here's where you can see how hard it is for these guys to adjust to this a lot slower speed. Is our guys are just kind of watching it come in. We've put 2 balls in play. Both of them are pop-ups. These guys are out there hacking really hard, dropping that shoulder, and it's lifting stuff up instead of hitting line drives like we want.
Here comes the 1-1 count. Now, this is not an exaggeration. I hate to say this with so many listening ears right around to my right here, Sheriff, but just bear with me here. My first hit ever was a bunt that went for a home run. And I saw that last night in, I don't know if you were watching, but in a major league game, an overthrow of the first baseman went down the right field line, an overthrow of the third baseman, and the runner who bunted scored on a home run. That made me come to realization that they do it even in elementary and in the majors. There's an off-speed pitch, like you were talking about, hit the left field. J.T. Williams is going to come over and haul down. That was hit way high.
Yep.
And a fly ball by Myers, and that's going to be recorded by J.T. Williams as an out. So 1-2-3 inning for Landon Malone, and that's going to do it for the Blue Devils in the home half of the 6th. We've played 6 complete. Now here at the Bob, your score, Portsmouth 8 and the Blue Devils 3.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
Bob Hood along with Chris Delaney back for the top of the seventh. It's going to be, or I'm sorry, bottom. That's going to be Matthew Foster and hopefully many more. It's going to be the top of the seventh, and it's going to be Cameron Williams, Nick Copley, and Preston Krebs for the Trojans. Oh no, I don't know if I can do this or not.
It's okay, Bob. I'm right here to support you.
Okay, Matt Champlin on to do the color here in the seventh, and it's going to be Cameron Williams, Nick Copley, and Preston Krebs. So, Sheriff, tell us a little bit about your twins. We know we missed them tonight, and you were talking about a little soil judging there. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Bob, they're out in Oklahoma for a Ag FFA soil judging competition. So they're going to be gone all week, as well as one of our softball stars, Ava Angel. But hey, good opportunity for some growth in a different area than athletics.
And speaking of ag, University of Rio Grande is going to start an agricultural program this year, and I was talking about the softball program there at the university. So one of the benefits now, the Rio Grande is going to add an ag program there.
Yeah, Rio Grande's expanding all the time. They're doing some really great things out there, and it's nice to see in an agricultural community such as ours, them taking such an interest to help our kids grow and flourish.
No stranger to broadcasting, Matt Champlin. No stranger to PR, I should say. There you go. No stranger to PR.
Just a little different angle tonight.
Okay. All right. So the Blue Devils now have changed pitchers again. On the pitch now for as Blue Devils are pitching. Matthew Foster. Okay, Matthew Foster has come on, a swing and a miss. So Foster now even at the count 1-1. Foster relieves Beckett Camden. So who went to center field?
That's Beckett.
I believe that is Beckett Camden. They just flip-flopped roles.
So Beckett Camden moves to center. Matthew Foster comes on in. That's going to be strike two. So now 1 ball, 2 strikes count as Foster is ahead in the count. Foster was pitching the other night in a game that I was doing.
Foster's got a really great arm. He's a good senior here on this team. Really athletic kid. Does a really good job on the bump there for us. Has a lot of good control, a lot of good speed, and some good tools in his toolbox as far as his off-speed pitches.
Good backhanded play down there at first base by Brady Conley, and that's going to be the first out. And so, okay.
I just lost my job.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I got to get warmed up a little bit, Chris. It'll be okay.
Foster with the pitch. That's a strike. Up to bat now is Nick Copley. Copley has scored 1 run, struck out twice in this game. Coming to bat here in the 7th with the Portsmouth Trojans leading 8-3. I started to say there, nice play over there at third on a backhanded pickup there by Conley. Tough play for a right-handed first baseman. The ball was hit over towards second base, and Conley scooped it up and ran over and unassisted took the play. There's a bouncing ball to shortstop. On over, and that's going to be an out.
Great Great play by Logan Drummond there deep in the hole at shortstop. Logan's a really good athlete, high athletic IQ, and just makes good decisions on the field. He's very sound in everything that he does.
So Logan Drummond on over to Brady Conley. That's going to be the second out for the Trojans. And that's going to bring Preston Krebs to the plate. Krebs has scored twice, and in the fifth, he popped up to Shockey. Here comes the pitch. Matthew Foster out from Matthew Foster, outside ball one. Matt, let's talk a little bit about, and you talked about it while we were off of the air there, about the pitching, the arms. As the Blue Devils have 5 games this week, there's a ball that's popped up, and that's going to be in short right field. And coming in is the right fielder, Jackson Myers. He's going to make the catch, and that's going to retire the innings. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about that as we have a full schedule this whole week. But so Krebs flies out to Myers. That's going to retire the side for Portsmouth in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no one left on base. We played 6.5. Your score, Portsmouth 8 and the Blue Devils 3.
Looking for your next vehicle? Time to bring in Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your trusted dealership in Gallipolis, Ohio. Whether you're cruising the highways or tackling tough terrain, Braden has the perfect Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram for you. Visit us at 252 Upper River Road, Gallipolis, Ohio, or call 740-853-5668. Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, driving Gallipolis forward.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You're watching Gallia Academy Sports, presented by Braden Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Gallipolis.
All right, we are back here at the Robert H. Bob Eastman Field for the Gallia Academy Blue Devils and the Portsmouth Trojans. We are in the top of the 7 with Portsmouth leading 8-3.
That's my line there, Sheriff.
Well, you know, Bob, I tend to have a command presence and just step in and take over. I'm sorry.
Do it anytime. Hey, let's talk a little bit about, we talked off air about the strength of the Blue Devils pitching staff in a week like this. We've got 5 games in 5 days. Of course, your 2 sons both pitch, and so that's -2 arms. So the Blue Devils, it's going to be a tough week up front.
It is going to be a long week, and you know, as you get deeper into the week, depending on how that week plays out, how many pitches each pitcher throws, it gets a little tough down the stretch. The nice thing that we do have at our disposal is we do have a lot of arms and a lot of kids that can take that bump and deliver strikes and pitch some good games. But regardless, 5 games in 1 week for a high school athletic team is going to be rough.
Matthew Foster steps up, 2 balls, 1 strike the count to Foster. On in relief is Landon Malone doing the pitching for the Trojans, off-speed pitch. Now, Chris Delaney mentioned this too, as we saw now Malone a little bit, throws a little bit lighter, a little bit slower stuff than we saw from the original pitcher, Jacob Roth. And that's difficult. There's a base hit. It's going to fall into Shallow's left center. So Foster is going to lead off with a hit. But, Matt, we talked about that earlier. That's really tough on the players to adjust from a tall, lanky pitcher like Roth who throws fast to a little shorter in stature, a little slower in speed up to Malone.
Yeah, it is, no doubt. And you've got to make those adjustments, and those are where the cream rises to the top, when you have hitters that know how to adjust, know how to move up and back in the box, and be able to make those adjustments. There's a good ground ball through the right side by Tyler Young, and Beckett Camden's advancing to third.
And the ball gets away.
Ball.
The ball gets behind the screen and almost over to us, but no harm done except that it allowed Young to get to second base. So the Blue Devils have runners on now, second and third, as Young with the single, goes to second on the throw as Foster may have gotten hit with the ball there. Did he? He's coming up, rubbing his.
Yeah, he said he hit his leg on the third baseman's leg, but I think they're both.
Okay. And so the third baseman, Nick Copley, and Matthew Foster kind of got tangled up there a little bit. And so now stepping in will be Beckett Camden with 2 runners on, nobody out. Blue Devils hitting in their half of the 7th. There's an off-speed pitch high and away, ball 1. So now, Matt, we got 2 runners on with nobody out.
It's a good position for Gallia Academy to be in, and just like we were talking there at the beginning of the inning, I think they look like they're making some adjustments and striking the ball well now.
There's an off-speed pitch hit to the back of the screen, so that's going to even account 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Blue Devils hitting in the home half of the 7th, trying to claw their way back into this one and either extend the game or possibly win the game in the bottom of the 7th. And now, of course, it's not yet dark. Darkness hasn't yet taken over, but we now get to the point where we got to be there's no lights here at the Bob, so we kind of got to worry about maybe darkness now. We'll see. From the stretch, here comes the pitch. Ball's popped up over the screen. Giving chase there was Brooks. Drops over the screen. So 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Blue Devils play, weather permitting, away tomorrow. And really, you mentioned this, but really a couple days weather could be to the Blue Devils' advantage, really. I mean, we don't need the bad weather, but it would sure help the Blue Devils in the scheduling.
Yeah, like we said earlier, 5 games in a row is tough, and we don't ever wish for rainouts. But if we do get a little bit of a breath this week, I don't think it'll be detrimental.
There's a ball in the dirt, so that's going to run the count now to 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's rain forecasted both Tuesday and Thursday, so the Blue Devils could get a break in that 5-game schedule. Here comes Malone to the belt. Here comes the pitch. That's in the dirt. Nice block there by Brooks to prevent a run scoring. So 8-3, Blue Devils hitting in the home half of the 7th. As the Blue Devils have had opportunities tonight. They've had base runners and they've had plenty of opportunities. Just haven't been able to get runs across the plate. There's ball 4. So Camden is going to draw base on balls, and that's going to load the bases.
It looks like the coaching staff is coming out to talk to their pitcher from Portsmouth, and it looks like they're going to make a change here.
They got a left-hander coming on, so trying to now, speaking of messing up the routine, now you bring a left-hander in, and that's a good move by Portsmouth if you're the Portsmouth coach. We haven't seen a left-hander all night, and really in high school baseball, you don't really see that many left-handers, and this is a hard-throwing left-hander. And I'll get you his name here in a second.
That's my phone, Bob. I don't think you're going to find your notes on my phone.
And I don't want your phone calls, that's for sure. So we've got now pitching for the Trojans, number 7, Nick Copley, who started the game at third base. Wait a second there. Hold on here a second. That's not Copley. Who is that? Do they have a number 7?
I'm not seeing one.
Oh, yeah, Leland Skurlock.
There he is.
Leland Skurlock, all the way at the bottom, who was a designated hitter. He started the game in center field and was DH'd for. So Skurlock is going to be the pitcher here. And he throws the ball pretty quick.
Yeah, a little bit more zip on it than the last pitcher, so we're going to have to make some adjustments again.
And like I said, and I said this, but also having to adjust to a left-hander.
That is something that when I played, I never liked hitting against was a left-handed pitcher. I always had struggles with that. I think it was more psychological than it was anything else, but, change is hard to adjust to.
Well, the harder he throws it, the further it can go.
That is true.
We've got Logan Drummond coming up to the plate. We talked about Logan earlier, how sound he is athletically. He's smart in the batter's box, too. So we'll see what Logan has in store for us here.
I know you didn't mention, but speaking of Andrew and Adam Holcomb, their father, Lee Holcomb, really never liked to hit against left-handers either because I could strike him out every time. Yeah.
Lee's a pretty good stick. I can't believe that you were able to strike him out, Bob.
No balls and 1 strike. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes now. No balls, 2 strikes to count. Nobody out. Blue Devils hitting in their half of the 7th, and the bases are full of dark jerseys. Here comes the pitch. And there's a ball. He got the bat on the ball, hits to second base. Nice play there. And that's going to be safe. So an infield single there. Fielder's choice. So a run did score. So the Blue Devils are going to score 1 run as Foster scores from third.
And now we've got runners on the corners. Got Tyler Young on third base and Logan Drummond on first with Maddox Delaney up at the plate.
Drummond hit Delaney hitting .333 on the season and leads the Blue Devils in 14 hits. No balls, 1 strike now, 1 out with one run in. Sorry about that. Inside ball 2. So like you said, Matt, we got runners at the corners, first and third, with just 1 out. So the Blue Devils still have the potential for a big inning here in the 7th, and they need it outside. It's going to be run the count now to 2 balls and 1 strike from the big left-hander.
4 to tie, 5 to win.
4 to tie and 5 to win. So on deck is the tying run, if you will. Here comes a pitch on the inside corner called strike. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now your count, 1 out. And now Coach Camden giving the signs there to Logan Drummond over there at first. That ball skips. Good play there by Brooks to the catcher for the Trojans to keep that from going all the way to the screen. And again, as hard as he throws, a ball like that can get to the screen, boy, that can score a run easy.
Sure can. We've got some wheels on the base path right now that could make it happen.
Here comes the pitch. Ball fouled up over the screen. 3 balls, 2 strikes now as they're doing everything to get this game in. It's now 8:15, and they're going to get this game in. So trying to speed it along a little bit. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Ball 4. And that's going to be a walk.
Loaded back up here.
Yeah, that was a very good out bat. So Camden moves down to second, and now Logan Drummond at first, Tyler Young over at third. Now it's going to bring Maddox Delaney to the plate.
Brady Conley.
I'm sorry.
Brady Conley.
I'm sorry. I got it. I just was 1 runner ahead. Sorry.
You were just checking us, Bob, making sure we were paying attention.
I did. I don't know these. You guys got these people memorized, see. So especially when it's your kid out there.
A little bit of an unfair advantage, right?
Oh, yeah, swing and a miss. Brady Conley stepping in, hitting .300 on the season. I haven't seen anything but a fastball either, as Chris mentioned. There's the ball hit foul down the line. I think he might have broke his bat, too, as Conley coming over toward the dugout as they heard a... Oh, yeah, sure is.
Not too often you see a broken bat with metal bats in high school baseball, but I think we've just experienced one here.
And you used, when it was wooden bats, you used to see that quite frequently,
Yeah.
but you're exactly right. You don't see that very often anymore at all. No balls, 2 strikes. There's a ball hit foul way past down, way over top of the Portsmouth dugout. Matt Champlin is in for... Yeah, we just got all kinds of moves tonight for Chris Delaney. Got all kinds of subs going on.
Chris was looking a little peaked over here. He needed a little break.
Yeah, he did. Still my right-hand man now.
You know that Chris Delaney, he's a good fella.
I think that hit the umpire. It did.
I think so.
It hit the umpire in the collarbone area, and up right above the collarbone. And I didn't. So the Portsmouth coach comes out of the dugout, and I think it hit him right in the jaw. It bounced in the dirt, and giving credit to Brooks, he tried to make the play, and we might have to. Oh, he's going to put the mask back on and go for it.
Got to tough it out here tonight.
Coach Harris coming down, checking on him. Also, the Blue Devils coaching staff making sure he's okay. Coach Camden going down. So here we go. On the ground we're going, he says. And the Blue Devils now have the tying run at the plate. Here comes the pitch. Hit foul down the right field line.
Great at-bat here by Brady Conley, battling hard there in the box. I think that's the third foul ball he's fouled off.
So we got runners on all bases for the Blue Devils. 1 run in so far. And now we're looking for a baseball. And so Coach Camden going over and getting a baseball as that one was hit out of play. So a little slight delay here. And Matt, now the Blue Devils faced with trying to get the tying run here before darkness sets in.
Yeah, and we've already lost 1 game this year that we had to postpone for darkness, and that's one of the deficits here. Hopefully eventually we can get some lighting here at this facility, because it sure would be nice to be able to continue to play through, especially when you're in a game with some momentum.
And the Blue Devils have had the momentum at different times. There was another foul ball hit down the right field line up over the dugout. So a good out-bat here by Brady Conley as he is fending off Leland Skurlock, and the big, tall left-hander for the Trojans, who throws pretty hard for a high school pitcher. 1 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Here comes the pitch from Skurlock. Again foul balled up over the screen.
He's battling like Davy Crockett in there, Bob. He's standing tall.
So Skurlock will now 1 ball, 2 strikes count, 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Chopper down the third base line. That's going to score 1 run. And Skurlock through, and he's off the base. He is off the base. They wanted an out. They wanted to appeal that, but he was definitely off the base. I saw that from here.
It was excellent effort all the way through from Brady Conley. Hustle down through there, and really nice turn of events there for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, and I'm glad you did, because let's give credit to Conley, who hustled that out. You don't see that a lot. And somebody hits a little dribbler, and you kind of, yeah. 5 foul balls. So let's give credit also to Conley for, like you said that, Matt, good at bat, as was mentioned there by Chris Delaney as well. Good at bat, 5 foul balls, and they're now conferring. And now the Blue Devils are at 8-6 with now the winning run to the plate. And then that would be Nathan Shockey. So he's safe. And the safe call stands as Portsmouth asks for an appeal, but to no avail. And that's the right call. Unfortunately, Portsmouth got their call at the end of the game. We got our 2 calls earlier in the game. So the umpires have had a tough game tonight.
Looks like we've got a runner in for Conley at first. I think it's Jack Allison over there pinch running.
It is Jack Allison. Thank you so much for catching that. I did catch it. We had a pinch runner, but I didn't know who it was. So Jack Allison goes in to run at first base for Brady Conley, who had a nice at-bat and really hustled out that ground ball. Yeah, a ball hit right here by Nathan Shockey, and we got a tie game. Oh, he hits Shockey. So that's going to be a hit batsman. So now the Blue Devils are coming to life, and that's going to bring Reese Toller to the plate.
A little bit of new life here with 1 out, and let's see what they can do with it.
So the bases remain loaded. Now we got Drummond at third. We got Delaney at second. And Allison, yeah, that's right. Yep, and Shockey is going to be at first. So
a lot of speed on these base paths right now, Bob. If they can put the ball in play, they've got a lot of potential to get something done.
There's a strike. And you both you and Chris both mentioned the same thing. A lot of speed on the bases, and so especially at second base, we've got there's a throw down to second. We got really a runner in Allison, and smart move there by Coach Camden to put a speedster on second base, because that is the tying run, and a shallow fly ball. Or a fly ball in the alley, and he's going to score. There's a high ball 2. or one. 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count on Reese Toller. Jackson Myers waits on deck, just 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Ball is lined to, or hit hard to shortstop. He's going to go to second for the force, and that's going to score a run. So now we pick up another run.
Runners on the corner with 2 outs.
Runners on the corner with 2 outs, and that's going to bring Jackson Myers to the plate. That's going to be an RBI. And so it's going to be the second out of the inning. So tying run at third as Coach Camden has called timeout.
Looks like we're getting another substitution on the base path. Looks like it'll be Colton Reed coming out to run for Reese Toller, another speedster here on the team.
And that could prove to be the winning run, as you got the tying run 90 feet away and the winning run down at first base. As Leland Skurlock is in for Landon Malone, in relief of Landon Malone, who relieved Jacob Roth. 8-7.
1 out.
You got 2 now. So 2 outs. Chris Delaney and Matt Champlin conferring behind my back there. I'm sure.
Just checking notes, Bob. Just checking notes.
And good thing. I need that.
We know that you are a very astute person, so we want to make sure that we're up to speed where you're at.
1 ball, no strike to count. 2 outs now, and everything on the line right here. I mean, it's all right here coming.
It is.
To
a lot of pressure on Jackson here.
There's a strike, a high strike. That's going to even the count at 1-1. Wasn't it high? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. No.
But hey, we're a long ways away, Bob.
Okay.
Might have some.
There's a swing and a miss, and a pitch the same location. 1 ball, 1 strike to count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count now to Jackson Myers, hitting with the tying run at third and the winning run at first. And the Blue Devils have clawed back into this one as Reed takes a lead over there at first, and Skurlock making sure. He's not being held on at all by Krebs. He's got he's dancing off first base. Yeah, I mean, he made a nice catcher there. Trevin Brooks made a nice stop on the ball that was in the dirt.
Big save on that. That could have been a costly pass ball.
2 balls, there's a foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Now 2 outs. Fouled to the screen. So we got a 2-2 count. So we've come down to 2 balls, 2 strikes, 8-7. The Trojans lead. We're at the bottom of the 7th. Blue Devils hitting. I can't really say anything more. The tying run at third, the winning run at first, and we got 2 outs. Yeah, everything. 2-2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And here comes the pitch from Leland Skurlock, looking to save it. Here comes the pitch, and that ball is hit to second base, and it's bobbled, and there's going to be no play. He's going to be safe, and coming over to third, that's the winning run.
Tying run scores.
Tying run has scored. The tying run has scored, and the Blue Devils have fought back all the way from, what was it, 8-2? Was it 8-2? 8-2, and the Blue Devils have scored 4 times here in the 7th. And now have tied the game, and the winning run is 90 feet away.
Really nice to see Gallia Academy battle back in this one, because this is where we've really struggled this year. We've given up a lot of close games, so to see the fortitude and these boys battle back, kind of reassuring.
This should be Matthew Foster, if I can read my lineup. Is it okay? So the ball was hit right up the middle. The shortstop was faded over towards second, and he mishandled. The ball came up on him. I'll give him a little bit of credit there. The ball took a hop and came right up on him, kind of one of those that ran up your sleeve, if you will. It's happened before.
Like the squirrel, Bob, like the squirrel.
Well, sort of. And now we got a new pitcher on, and we'll see who that is, as we'll be able to tell you here. As the new pitcher is going to be Jacob. Is that Roth? Roth, where's number yeah, it is Roth. The original starting pitcher. Where's number 3? Yep, Jacob Roth, the re-enter rule. So Roth comes back in, the original starting pitcher, who went 3 1/3. And now the Blue Devils' winning run stands 90 feet away as Matthew Foster is in. This would be a huge, monumental win for the Blue Devils if they can plate a run right here. As inching away, there's a ball hit to second base, and he's going to scoop it up and get the force play. And so, yeah, that was the right call. He's forced out at second base. So now we got probably a darkness call.
I think that's exactly what it's looking like, Bob.
Yeah. So the Blue Devils and the Trojans are going to end this one tied at 8-8, but I really don't care. It's almost a win for the Blue Devils, really. So they're going to have to come back here. Okay, thank you, Chris Delaney. They're going to have to come back here and finish the game. So that score now will be 8-8, and really, in all honesty, I think this is almost a win for the Blue Devils. I know it's not on the line on the books, but you mentioned it. What a huge comeback by the Blue Devils, who trailed 8-3 after 6 complete and scored 5 runs in the 7th to tie the game 8-8.
I agree, Bob. That was a big battle for them to pull off tonight to even come back and tie this game. What a way to dig deep by this young club and dig their heels in when they really needed to.
So the Blue Devils and the Trojans are going to end this one tied 8-8, and they will resume the game right here back at the Bob. I want to thank Matt Champlin for stepping up, doing a great job, as always, as color. And I want to thank Chris Delaney for also his hard work there. And Chris, you do a great job. You really do. I know we kind of tease around a lot, but you do a great job. And so now the Trojans gathered around home plate. The Blue Devils going down the left field line. And, folks, this may end 8-8, but for the Blue Devils, it was a huge comeback as Gallia, as I mentioned, Gallia Academy scoring 5 runs in the 7th inning. And really everything, the Blue Devils came down to that last at-bat, and they did what they had so many times in baseball. We see someone going in 8-3, you think, okay, we're beat. And you really, it's 1, 2, 3, and the game's over. But that wasn't the fact tonight. Everyone it was played hands-on ball in the 7th, and we came away with a tie game. So good heads up, good coaching, good heads up by the Blue Devils. Some key plays. They hit the ball when they needed to hit the ball, and they got good defense when they needed defense. So really a productive night for the Blue Devils. Matt Champlin, thank you very much.
Hey, Bob, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
On behalf of Chris Delaney, this is Bob Hood and all the crew here at Total Media. Good night, everyone. Stay safe and keep yourself safe.